Ooh, what's up YouTube, ODST General back again, and today guys we're back in American Truck Sim 2 for the first time. I'm going to attempt, I don't know if this is going to work out super well, to take these 3 trailers of wrecked cars up to Salt Lake from Moab. My truck's not quite outfitted for heavy hauling, but it's got a lot geared into it, so I'm hoping we'll be able to take this okay. And our pickup speed wasn't very good before, but now it seems to be kind of going okay. It's still kind of slow, but I'm hoping once we get going, we'll be okay. Now, Utah has a lot of hills and stuff like that, and that could be an issue, but hill traversal is pretty good. It's one of the things I'm better spec'd into. I'm just gonna keep my hazards on and the warning lights too. So hopefully that will help prevent any potential incidences or incidents from happening. Incidences. I don't know why I said that. So yeah, anyways, we're, like I said, going up from Moab to Salt Lake. If we have time, I want to stop up in Ogden. So, for those of you who don't know, I just moved from Utah a few weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago. And, yeah, so, I mean, I've never been to Moab personally. I've been kind of close by it, but I've, like, never actually gotten down into that area. So, I'm not quite familiar with this. Like, I'm more familiar with Salt Lake, Provo, Ogden, couple parts in like the northwestern part of the state, you know, but that's not really added in, unfortunately, and like Price. So we'll be driving through Price. So I kind of can comment on that one, but I've gone through Price, and to be honest, the game really just, to me, didn't look anything like any part of Price I recognized. Now there was like one street in Price I never went on, so it could be that. Switch back into the right lane here. So yeah, Utah, absolutely gorgeous state here. Actually, I kind of want to take a screenshot of that. Okay, hang on guys, 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that guys, I wanted to take a screenshot here in Moab. The mountains looked really nice. That's mountains with a T. I didn't pronounce the T very well there, but that's something that kind of drives me a little bit crazy about living in Utah, or having lived in Utah, is like nobody pronounces the T. In fact, it's like a point of pride for some of them that they don't pronounce the T. That was a California State Trooper there. That was weird. Yeah, really gorgeous state though Utah was. Now I think, you know, when talking to a lot of people outside of Utah,
go straight on.
You know, at least people I game with, there's a lot of people who go, like, Utah's not like a real state, or like nobody actually lives in Utah. You know, you kind of bash it some, and I get it. Like, before I moved to Utah, I would have been like, why would I ever want to go to Utah? Like, it was never on a list of states I wanted to visit or go to, but it's actually a super awesome state. Having lived there for 6 years. You know, I mean, there's a little bit of stuff for everybody. It's me, I'm a giant nerd. I'm a gamer, obviously. I'm into nerdy crap. It's like the self-proclaimed nerdiest state in the US, but I mean, the Salt Lake City Comic-Con, like, was one of the fastest growing Comic-Cons ever. Now, it's kind of capped out some, partially because it's limited by its own setting. You know, they actually had to kind of close part of it down. Try and merge over without signaling, because my hazards are on. Anyways, they had to kind of like not close it down, but like kick people out because they were above capacity for the fire marshal. That looks almost like a state trooper vehicle. I don't think it is though. There's no light bars. I don't think they have any slick tops in here. Anyways, yeah. So that's pretty neat, but I mean, you know, if you're more of an outdoorsy person, or if you just like to do that from time to time,
and then turn
nice. You know, you can do that too. I mean, there's tons of hiking and you know, other sporting stuff. I used to do a lot of paddle boarding up near Ogden, and if you're familiar with Utah, you probably know where I'm talking about. So I mean, you got right away, but okay, I'll take it. I think this is the biggest haul I've ever hauled on here. Probably safe to say. Definitely need to get myself a truck that's more geared towards heavy hauling and stuff like that. I'm not very, oh, shoot. Fortunately, you gotta be careful about being dependent on your mirror and stuff, because the mirror doesn't show people quite as long as actually just looking back there. Unfortunately, the draw distance isn't quite as good, so you're better off just looking out the window like this. Now the people who were on the on-ramp are coming on behind me here. Kind of cut that guy off, but didn't have much of a choice. So yeah, pickup speed's a lot lower with this really heavy load. I mean, like I said, this thing's not quite geared towards heavy hauls. It's a little bit more towards heavy hauling than like a normal load, but just more so kind of like an all-arounder vehicle that's capable of doing a little bit of everything. Getting up, I mean, we're not going very fast acceleration-wise, but I mean, it seems to be staying consistently faster and faster, which is good, I think. I mean, I think that means we'll get up pretty good, even maybe even full speed here. It'll just take a little bit longer to get there. So I guess if we get our full speed going, I'll turn the hazards off, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen or not. The speed limit's 80, so that's not really accurate at all.
Keep right,
well,
and then exit right.
I guess we're south of Price. Not really though.
Exit right.
Once we come off of here, I guess I'll probably drop down to 65. I guess that road is like 80, so was it 70 or 80? I can't remember. I've been on it a couple times because that's the road that goes out towards like Colorado. Yeah, there we go. It's 65. So that was one thing I never got, like in Utah, that didn't make any sense to me, is you go up to like Salt Lake and the speed limit is like 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour in some parts. And so you're driving around city traffic, and Salt Lake City's smaller or like less traffic wise than most other cities that I've been to, but it's still a city, so there's still a ton of traffic, tons of people out, and it's a little bit denser or more congested because of the fact that it's a city. And you're driving 70, 75 miles an hour, and then you go down here somewhere like Price or even south of Price where there's like almost no one. I mean, the roads are like wide open. You know, a lot of it's 4-lane roads, and you're going 65 miles an hour out in the middle of nowhere. It's nonsensical. It really seems stupid to me. I'm sure there's a reason they do that, but I can't think of it. Like, it just seems like the perfect place to have people going faster. Like, it seems to make more sense to me to have people going faster out in the wide open than out in this like really heavily congested area. Interesting. So we're just blowing by that Staples truck we got in the left lane, and we're still going like 10 under the speed limit. We're gonna blow by this other truck here too, wherever he's hauling. Dropping speed though, so it looks like air ducts or something. Dropping speed, so not quite handling the hills as well as we had hoped, or as well as I had hoped, but we did okay. I mean, we didn't lose a lot of speed. We were actually building it for a second at the start of that hill. I like how that merges right, and then like you have to turn to the left anyways. Like it merges into the middle. So Price is the next 3 exits. I can tell you right now, Price definitely does not have a Best Buy. There is nothing that big in Price.
Keep left.
Like the closest thing to being that big is, oh my god, I forgot the store. Oh, I guess Walmart is like the biggest thing there, and Best Buy is a lot bigger than Walmart. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing in Price. Carbon Avenue, yep, been there. So, you know, one of the biggest disappointments for me, of course, with this is there is a lot of inaccuracies and liberties taken by the development team out of necessity. You know, they had to cut stuff, and you can't fit everything in. Unfortunately, that's the issue you have when you scale everything down, is stuff's not going to look accurate, and you can't create every single building to 100% detail. It's not feasible. You know, even like American Flight Sim, where they're supposed to have like basically everything as it exists and stuff, they're using like all this technology to do it, still isn't really doing it 100% accurately. Like the buildings are getting like auto-generated by the computer based off the satellite imagery, so it's definitely gonna get stuff wrong. And yeah, I mean, so this is all done by hand and stuff, prefabricated buildings and things of that nature. So yeah, this is Price. I'm assuming right here, this looks like the last exit out of town. That's where you'd have your like Burger King and the gas station, which looks like it's right there actually. And there's like a Taco Bell and KFC and stuff across the street, and then a couple of restaurants. So that's actually that exit right back there is kind of by where those domes are. In this case, those are a little bit further back. That's where I got my U-Haul when I left Utah. Just a fun fact. We're passing by Price, so this is where this trip may slow down some. So the trip from Price to Salt Lake City is a mountain pass, and it gets pretty steep grades. Now this doesn't really do it justice to the full extent. To slow down for that guy too, that sucks. To the full extent, there's a lot of steeper drop-offs and stuff that you pass by. Peerless Port of Entry, definitely not look like that. It looks so much more dangerous in real life. So to paint a picture, like this is nice and open. You can kind of see fairly well around these corners and stuff. Imagine that. What are you doing? Imagine that corner where you can't see around it basically at all. It's like a sharper turn. And then you've got that port of entry without a barrier, and you've got all the semis having to stop there, like coming around this corner and stuff, and that's what the Peerless Port of Entry actually is. Now, I've never seen any crashes or anything. Oh, that's a cop. I'm gonna get ticketed. Oh, I didn't. Cool. So in reality, it's not... I've never seen any issues or have anything dangerous happen. But yeah, I don't know. It's kinda shady sometimes. I actually think I have a picture of that tunnel there. It looks different in real life. It's actually like 2 separate tunnels, but that's neat. Yeah, I don't know. Just a fun fact about that port of entry, that way station, whatever you want to call it. It's called the Peerless Port of Entry in real life. Oh, there's a train down there. Can't tell what it is. It looks like it's probably a Front Runner. Front Runner doesn't actually run that far, I don't think. That's all freight trains that come along in this line. The Front Runner is Utah's, like, transit, like passenger transit. And I think it runs between, like, somewhere in Provo and up to, like, Ogden. This guy, I didn't realize I merged over. That's why everybody was stopping. That could have been dangerous. I could have definitely got hit there by that guy trying to merge over. I had to fix my truck because I got a bunch of damage because I was driving haphazardly last time. A bunch of the windmills, which are just outside of Provo, which means we're pretty much through the mountains now. This is as you come out of the mountains. You see all those those windmills. I definitely have pictures of those, but they're not quite as good quality. And yeah, so we're going to be coming through Provo. Now, Provo is terrible to drive through right now. A lot of the interstate going through there is all torn up and under construction and everything. It's just like an intense ride because, like I said, you're going faster than we were going through that mountain pass and everything else. And like traffic's more condensed together, and there's like a lot of twists and turns and stuff as you're weaving around the traffic. It's kind of an intense ride, at least I feel it is. It doesn't have any hazard lights on or anything for his wide load. Mine's not even a wide load, it's just a heavy load, and I'm concerned simply about the fact of impeding traffic. I mean, we've actually been doing okay speed-wise compared to I thought that merged for a second. Compared to a lot of the other traffic, a lot of the other trucks, which makes no sense to me. I mean, all these trucks have way lighter loads, and we're just blowing by a lot of them, going under the speed limit by a lot. So I don't get that. So right now, I'm pretty sure this is Spanish Fork here, which
Go
you
straight on.
drive through. Technically, it's kind of going into Provo, but yeah. There's like a Culver's and stuff along in here. Walmart, like this is. So this is Walbert. I had real companies. I mean, you can see this. I'm pretty sure it's Chevron over there. So I don't know if all of these are real companies or if that mod broke at all. There was an update, so I haven't played since that last update, so I don't know if that's caused any issues or not. I mean, Chevron's okay, so I'm assuming that whole real companies mod is working fine. Yeah, it says Walmart on the map there. So yeah, there's a Walmart here in this town too. It's a lot smaller though. This one's like a full-size Walmart. This the one in real life is like a neighborhood market with like a gas station and stuff there.
Keep right.
Also, that park's not a thing, I don't think. At least I've not ever noticed it. Well, I don't know, it's in here, so. And that's. I don't think that was accidental. Oh, shoot, I missed my.
Okay, let's find a new
exit.
route.
Wasn't paying attention. Oh, let's see here. Can I. That's an on-ramp. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. I'm stuck going this way. Should have been paying more attention. That was bad. So I have to go a ways down and turn around. I'll probably have to go fairly far to do it too, I think. Alright guys, and we're back. Unless I decide to keep in all of that like super shady stuff I just did on the interstate to get back on the correct path. So depending on whether or not I cut and where I cut, basically what happened is I missed a turn, and it was a long drive down 15 to I don't know where we're going. It's southbound past Spanish Fork. I guess that's the road towards St. George, just based on the direction we were going. Anyways, I don't think there was going to be any turnoffs or anything for a while, so like I literally just did a U-turn in the middle of the highway with 3 trailers. So yeah, that was pretty shady. Thankfully, we didn't get hit because that would have been bad. But we're back on the right path now, so we're heading northbound again towards Salt Lake. Speed limit's up to 80 out here. It's about to drop down 75, it looks like. Yeah. So yeah, we were in Spanish Fork. We're gonna have to pass back through Spanish Fork Provo area again to get back on the correct path and get going again. So we're kind of double tracking. You can see the Walmart we had passed by a little bit ago. Like once again, depending on where I cut. This is for Provo and Price and Spanish Fork. Yeah, it looks like the skyline, I think, for Provo over there. It's so condensed, sometimes it's easy to get the skylines mixed up. You definitely wouldn't be able to see Salt Lake from here in real life, but it's hard to tell in the game. So Provo is pretty densely populated. This game doesn't really do it justice. Yeah, there's tons of corporate buildings and larger structures and stuff out there. Smaller skyscrapers, you know, just like 5-6 story buildings, a lot of those. Oh gosh, holy cow, that could have been bad. Frames started dropping like crazy. There's an Adobe building out there. I think a lot of software companies are starting to move out from California to Utah because a lot of California residents are moving out to Utah and other states too because of the pricing of housing in California is so ridiculous. Speeding, I should slow down, but part of me wants to just keep going that speed because this is like the fastest we've gone. Alright, we'll put on cruise control here so we can stay going hopefully 70, but it looks like traffic's getting a bit congested in front of us, so I don't know if that's going to happen. We also need to stop and sleep at some point here too, although I'm hoping we can make it up to Salt Lake without having to do that. Given that I'm already like 26 minutes into the video, not including the time I've cut or planned to cut, I don't think we're going to have time to make it to Ogden, unfortunately, so I can't really talk about Ogden. There's a lot of discrepancies in Ogden, but there's a lot of cool stuff that they have added into, so it's kind of a mixed bag for me, for sure. But overall, I'm excited that's in the game and get to kind of explore it with you guys a little bit.
Keep left.
Not sure where I need to go, but I feel like I should merge right a little bit. I just said keep left. As you can see, it does say Salt Lake 3 lanes. So we're passing by West Valley, which is on like the southern end of Salt Lake. I imagine it can't be too much longer until we have to merge over here. It's telling us to merge right. See, yeah, the sign for Ogden's right there.
Keep right, and then exit right.
I'll let this car blow by us. I can't get past him.
Exit right.
And this is telling us to merge over, although I think that's just because it's actually merging. Oh no, no it's not. Somebody got pulled over by the Utah's Highway Patrol. Now, I'm pretty excited. So, once again, I moved to Michigan, if you guys don't know. So I feel like I went from one of the states with like the most boring police libraries out there to the most exciting one, or at least one of the better ones in my opinion. Like Utah just does like the plain white police cars with the beehive, and it's just like, it's a lame livery, if I'm being honest. I mean, the Highway Patrol's fine and well, I guess. I don't have anything against them, but their trucks are boring. Their cars are boring. Their vehicles are boring. Just moved out to Michigan. Theirs are a lot cooler. They've got, in my opinion, a slightly cooler logo. It's just like a shield and stuff, and I think a couple of lightning bolts. But they paint their cars like a darker blue, and they've got this like sign they put on the front. I guess for whatever reason, I don't know why they put that on there. I guess if the vehicle's sitting in one of those U-turns emergency vehicles police use and stuff, I don't know.
Keep right,
somebody more knowledgeable about Michigan
right.
State Police or Highway Patrol would know more. Yeah, I know. I screwed up and I took the long way. I'll probably be late
right.
for the delivery, but we're right there too. Just do the lazy delivery here.
Get ready to turn left.
Instead of farting around trying to back this in. Well, actually, with 3 trailers, it's probably not going to have me back in. We'll see what options there are. I struggle enough with 1 or 2 trailers to back it in. There's no way I'm getting 3 in. But yeah, it's got like this one big red rotary light. It looks kind of ridiculous, but I love it. Like, it's just like old school cop cars in some ways, but with modern vehicles. I'm not sure what this refinery is supposed to be. There's a lot of refineries and stuff in Utah. almost looks like a mosque or something over there. Is he turning? I gotta say, I don't see a turn signal. Alright, so we're almost to our destination. I don't know if we're gonna be late or not, but I mean, if we are, it's not a big deal. I'm not happy about it. Guy really wants to sleep too. That wasn't cool. People keep pulling out in front of me here. Like, again, I'm going under the speed limit, but like the people are stopping that I don't expect to stop, and then the people that I expect to stop aren't.
Keep right, and then continue straight on.
Oh, okay, so we're delivering
Go
this
straight
from
on.
Avalanche Steel like wrecking yard or something, and then taking it to like the smelter. What? I was turning, but there's not a turn lane there. I wasn't paying attention. But it was stupid, because I was trying to turn it. I guess the game just recognizes that there's not
Keep
actually
right,
a lane to
and then
turn on,
turn
so that's
right.
what gave me that violation, even though I was turning.
Turn right.
Whatever. Not the greatest trip for me, but hey, it happens. I do play a little bit more cautiously when I'm not recording video, because I'm not in a rush to try and get the video done on time, or have to like worry about cutting time for the video.
It's all over now.
Okay. So yeah, we can place it. Won't let us do this one here. That's really good experience. I guess maybe because I'm not a high enough rank or something. I don't know. But it's just gonna have us pull up and park it here. That's not leaving me a lot of room to get out of here after I park this. And this is the right way, though. I mean, you can see the markers for the truck. That's ridiculous. Okay. Farther back than I realized. Okay. So, far from a perfect delivery. Looks like we did make it on time, though. Yeah. Okay, so that was a trip from Moab to Salt Lake. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to go do something else now. Alright guys, take it easy. I'll see you in the next video.